should be a very interesting topic because we are always in nature, and then art, different kinds of art forms can be a way for us to understand ourselves and also understand nature. So how the two are related to us and also related to between themselves, to each other, I think is a very interesting topic. The 5 poems we are reading today, 3 of them are about nature, and then 2, Musée des Beaux-Arts, and also Anecdote of the Jar, are about art. Or maybe we can say that Musée des Beaux-Arts is a poem about how art deal with human events, and then Anecdote of the Jar deals with art's relation with nature. So you can see human world, nature, and art. The 3 things are interrelated in this unit. And these are the general questions for you to consider when you approach these poems. For instance, how do you appreciate nature? What kinds of nature, what parts of nature do you like? For instance, when we talk about nature, we can also talk about seasonal changes. The nature as is shown in like winter, summer, autumn, and spring, or the nature we get to appreciate like in the mountains, by the sea, in a city, etc. Or different kinds of animals. There are different things that we can see as being part of nature. And then we can also say that we are also part of the natural world. Although we human beings are more civilized, we seem to be farther and farther away from the natural. But we still have some part of us which is natural, and then which is in correspondence to nature. Okay, so I think it's a very interesting issue, how we appreciate nature, or how we respond to nature, and how do we get close to nature, and in what way do we get close to nature without being in danger. Like for instance, if you go to the mountains, you may come across different kinds of dangers, like the bees, the snakes, the wild animals, etc. Okay, so this is the first issue. And the first poem we are reading today is called Earth. And then Earth has 2 meanings. One is the earth on the ground, and the other is the earth we live in. So why are these 2 words, the 2 words, the same, the same words? Why is the same word? Why does the same word have 2 meanings? Okay, so this is the second issue. And then, of course, if you live in a city, then another issue related to our relation to nature will be, how we get close to nature. Whether you see, like the gardens, the parks in a city as part of nature. Do you see going to a park, or going to a garden, or going to the Flora Expo as, being close to nature? Okay. And finally, how does fine arts, different kinds of fine arts, help us understand nature and help us understand human worlds, etc. Okay, so this is these are the general questions for you to consider when we read all of the 5 poems. Well, actually, I'm introducing 2 other songs and then another poem for your reference or for your pleasure. I think there are several interesting poems, interesting songs under the topic of nature and art that you can have fun with. Okay, so let's begin with the first poem. For the first poem, let me read it for you, and then I'll paraphrase it, and then we'll get to analyze the meanings. Okay, so the poem is by Derek Walcott. He was here a while ago. He was a Nobel Prize winner. And of the writers we have read so far, Derek Walcott is the only one from Central America. He is from the Caribbean area, St. Lucia. And then Garcia Marquez is from South America, from Colombia. Okay, so these are the two writers which are not British or American, and all the others are British or American. Okay, Earth by Derek Walcott. Let the day grow on grow on you upward through your feet, the vegetal knuckles, to your knees of stone, until by evening you are a black tree. Filled with evening, the swift thicken your hair, the new moon rising out of your forehead, and the moonlit veins of silver running from your armpits like rivulets under white leaves. Sleep as ants. Cross over your eyelids. You have never possessed anything as deeply as this. This is all you have owned, from the first outcry through forever. You can never be dispossessed. Okay, so basically the poem has three imperatives. Let the day grow on you. Feel the swift, blah, 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 and sleep. So these are the three imperative statements. Speaking to the speaker, telling the audience, the reader, to be open to different natural elements. For instance, in the poem's days, we have the days come visiting us. But in this poem, the speaker asks us to allow the day to grow in us and on us upward. As if every day, when we get develop along the in the day, the day is growing in us, okay, upward, and then to allow us to become a tree, and the day grows through our feet. So from beneath, through our feet, through our knuckles. Knuckles are this part, okay, of your feet and of your hands, okay, the knuckles, to your knees of stone. So it's pretty much the knuckles of the feet, and then to the knees of stone, until you become a black tree. I think the first question for you is, in what way can we become a black tree? I think this is all very metaphoric. So for you need to understand, what being black tree is like, or in what sense can we be like a black tree? Okay, and then in the evening, filled with evening, the swift here should be the swallows in the air. Okay, the swift thicken your hair, the new moon rising out of your forehead. Again, these are a lot of abstract descriptions. How could we have moon rising out of our forehead? And then the moon seeming to shine on our veins, so that the veins, the blood vessels, are moonlit veins of silver running from our armpits, like rivulets, the small streams, okay, under white leaves. And then finally, when you sleep, sleep as ants cross over your eyelids. This seems to be kind of horrible, right? I don't think I would feel comfortable having ants crawl over my body, or not to mention cross over my eyelids. Okay, but this is what the speaker asks us to do. And then then the speakers make a statement. You have never possessed anything as deeply as this. What are this? Okay, this is all you have owned, from the first outcry through forever. You can never be dispossessed. So what are the this here, and what kind of interaction does the poem describe here? Okay, so these are my questions. Let me give some of you to try to answer the question. There are also other questions like maybe when you reread the poem, you will find out that in describing the human body, the speaker already uses some images of nature, like vegetal, something like plant, like vegetable knuckles, knees of stone, and then also it combines the moon with the forehead, and then the veins of ourselves gets to be moonlit, to be veins of silver. So why does the speaker want to make this connection? To make like our bodily parts something like natural beings. Okay, so what is implied in this kind of connections? And finally, there are a lot of natural elements. Which are the natural elements you find yourself open to? Do you like those natural elements like black tree, moon, swift, and ants? And do you like to be associated with them? Okay, and why can we not be dispossessed of this? What is this, and why can we not be dispossessed? Okay, so these are the questions. Why don't I just get one group to answer my question, and then maybe we can have all the 5 groups, 6 groups covered this way. Group 2. So let me summarize my questions. First of all, how is human body in this poem connected to nature? With what images, and how would you imagine the images to mean? These are all very abstract images, like vegetal knuckles, okay, and then knees of stone, and silver, veins of silver flowing out of our armpits. What does that mean? Okay, I guess you can even imagine some scenes from sci-fi. Like the image I have of the moonlit veins of silver is it's not Narnia. The recent sci-fi, which is very famous, Avatar. Yeah. Okay, with the blue skin colors, etc. Okay, and a bit like transparent skin color. So try to use your imagination to understand or to explain why the speaker wants to make such connections. Okay, so that's the first question. And then the second question is, what is this here, and why are they something we will not be dispossessed of? In other words, why are they something we will not lose? Okay. Okay, yeah, let's get back to the point. So how do you want to answer the question? What do you think knees of stone mean? Just pick up any of the images, like vegetal knuckles, knees of stone, black tree, swift, new moon, moonlit vein of silver.
Because our knees are strong.
Uh-huh.
And tough.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so like stone.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is very good. Actually, I think this is what he means. Although sometimes if we think that, I'm becoming stony, then it means being stiff, being immobilized. When we think of the knees becoming stony or fossilized. But like 石化, usually we think of 石化 as being becoming stiffened. But I think here to talk about knuckles as being vegetal, vegetational, okay, and then talking about the knees as being stony, it suggests that parts of our human bodies are like the beings in nature, So the knuckles can be like vegetables or the vegetation, and then the knees can be like stones. Yeah. Okay. Pass the mic back. So can you try to interpret the other words, the other phrases like black tree, veins of silver,
I think the new moon maybe imply the wrinkles on our face. Yes.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a good point. I've not thought of that, but yeah, indeed, the shape of the new moon, can be like the wrinkles. Okay. Any other interpretation? This is all, as I said, very wild, very wild analogy. So you are really free to do any interpretation, as long as they can be understandable to us. So why do we have moonlit veins? Or do you like to have ants crawl on your face, over your eyelids?
Of course not.
So, but what does the speaker want to say here? Why does the speaker want us to have ants cross over our eyelids?
Maybe because the speaker want us to be connected with nature.
Yeah, or specifically with Earth. This is like we are seldom bare feet, and maybe we are bare feet most of the time only after maybe a few months after we were born, and then we wear shoes, and then we are warmly clothed. So we are always well sheltered and protected from nature, from the influences of nature. And this is not to romanticize nature, to say that, oh, it is completely harm-free. If we don't protect ourselves, if we don't shelter ourselves, then we can be subject to a lot of dangers in nature. Like even the ants can bite us. And not to mention like bees or snakes, the other stuff. Yeah, but I think what the speaker tries to remind us of is sometimes we can be open to nature, especially for those of you who like to go camping. I guess you may be able to understand what the speaker describes more than we do. Or if you used to live in the countryside, you will be able to understand what the speaker describes more than those of us who are the city people. Like I was born in a city. The whole of my life I live in a city. So I have this kind of connection with nature a lot less than those people who who were born in a city or who live in a city, in a countryside, or who like to go mountain climbing, sleep in the sleeping bags or in a tent. And then sometimes when you are out in nature, up to a certain point, you don't really mind the insects around you, because you know how to protect yourself. You know what is dangerous to stay away from. Like even with snake, which we are going to talk about very soon, you know how to avoid offending them, so that some snakes can be harmless, and then you can just stay away from them without being afraid of them. So if you are good at living in nature, then all of these matters will not be really bothersome or scary. Only for city people, once you are so away from nature, then you feel that, even the earth, the dust, can be troublesome. There may be something to avoid. Yeah, I think that's the main point the speaker wants to convey here.